Today, the point of view in this new video is why Malaysia will be bigger than Singapore. Have you ever visited one of them or both countries? This video may cause you to visit both countries. First of all, let's find out what makes Malaysia so special, and of course compare the countries. Which country has more residents and which country is bigger? Or how about their economy? Are you ready to find out? Here we go. With a GDP of more than $2.4 trillion, Southeast Asia is known to be one of the world's fastest growing markets. And when you have a choice between Singapore or Malaysia, not a bad one to have if you ask us. These two rising countries in the heart of Southeast Asia have stacks and stacks of draws for the would-be traveler. They share a lot about culture and history since they are so close to each other. But they also have oodles of differences, so what are they? Find out by watching this video. Tariq Ramadan said it best. Malaysia is a country unlike any other. It is full of promise and fragility. Its history, cultural and religious diversity make it a rich and surprising land. Malaysia offers opportunities and capabilities across the value chain, from manufacturing to distribution and technical expertise in the services sector. A cost-productive workforce, developed infrastructure, and investor-friendly business policies make the country an enticing place for investors. Singapore's highly developed economy enjoys stable prices and a per capita GDP higher than that of most developed countries. According to the World Bank's 2017 report, Singapore ranks at number 2 as the most accessible place to do business in the world, while Malaysia is ranked at number 24. Malaysia is around 459 times bigger than Singapore. Singapore is approximately 719 square kilometers, while Malaysia is about 329,847 square kilometers, making Malaysia, the city of the future, 45,763% larger than Singapore. The Malaysian economy has steadily been growing over the past years. Malaysia is the 4th largest economy in Southeast Asia. It is a newly industrialized market economy that is relatively open despite being state-oriented. The country saw its GDP growth rise by 4.3% in 2019 after growing by 4.8% in 2018. This was backed by many factors, which includes improvement in its labor market, spending on infrastructure, a pro-cyclical budget, growing global demand for oil and gas and electronics. Mahathir Mohamad said it best. Developing countries like Malaysia should have a say in changing the world financial system since they have faced the problems that it has caused. Malaysia is a country that is always looking to innovate. New megaprojects such as Penang South Island, a $7 billion man-made island called Penang South Island, is just an example of the rising country's new development plans. This island is situated off Penang International Airport's southern coast. This stunning mixed-use complex spans a whopping 4,500 acres, so it's clearly no ordinary undertaking. Now, it's not just the size that sets this development apart. Penang South Island is true in its sustainability. The link between the shoreline and the islands is being carefully planned out to improve water flow, while silt curtains along with containment bunds are in place to protect marine life and water quality. Another great project Malaysians are working on is the Jendela. This $21 billion plan aims to transform the country's broadband experience and prepare it for 5G technology. With a focus on fiberizing links and upgrading existing infrastructure, Jendela is staying firm and giving wider and a better quality of experience. Now for the next exciting mega project. Your mind will be blown away by the Johor-Singapore Rapid Transit System when it makes its debut. This groundbreaking project, it is expected to cost $10 billion, would transform transportation and create a new kind of link between Singapore and Johor. These upcoming mega projects in Malaysia will no doubt help reshape the country's economy. Malaysia has a far larger population of 32 million as compared to Singapore's 5.7 million. Singapore is nonetheless working on a future economy that is different and leaner, aided by a quicker adoption of technology, a faster pace of innovation, and higher productivity. The economy of Malaysia is much better than that of Singapore, which moves in spurts. The government of Singapore has worked hard to improve its financial status. Many bands skip Malaysia and focus on the more advanced infrastructure of Singapore. In addition, the weather in both countries is warm, and there is no shortage of outdoor and indoor activities. The cost of owning a car in both countries is considerably lower. For example, a 10-year-old car in Malaysia can last up to 15 years, while a 5-year-old car in Singapore can only be driven for 5 years. This means that owning a car in either country is much more affordable than living in the other. The mortgage loan rates are lower in Malaysia. The salaries in both countries are higher, but Malaysians are more likely to earn a higher salary in Singapore. Compared to Singapore, Malaysians earn more money per year. While their salaries are lower than their counterparts in the region, Malaysians can expect to receive more bang for their buck. For instance, Singaporeans are willing to pay 3 times as much as do. That isn't necessarily a bad thing. In general, the Malaysian economy is much more developed than that of Singapore. Its GDP is larger and more diversified than that of the island nation. In addition, the Malaysian economy is more liberal, while Singapore's is more conservative and less modern. In the World Press Freedom Index, the two countries rank above each other in each category. But which is better? And what is the main reason for this? The two countries are ranked higher in the world in terms of taxation. Both countries have a more stable political climate, though, and both have a better economy. And while both have a smaller population, both have a higher level of security and infrastructure. Both countries also have more skilled labor and are considered more modern. They both have great economic success compared to other cities in the world. This is a good sign, but there are other differences. While you think Malaysia has only to offer Genting Islands and KL Towers, though they are worthwhile to visit once as honeymooners, nature and adventure serve as a perfect recipe. With exotic beaches and tropical rainforests, couples can also add adventure activities like scuba or snorkeling to their Malaysia honeymoon. While Singapore is a futuristic city-state with one foot in the past in its ramshackle Chinatown and Little India, you have adventure activities, especially for those who love the outdoors. There is world-class scuba diving and snorkeling off the Perhentian, Redang, and Tioman Islands, hiking through tea plantations in the Cameron Highlands and trekking through the jungles of Borneo will satisfy any adventure enthusiast. In the Selangor region around Kuala Lumpur, you can take part in zip lining, whitewater rafting, and even bungee jumping. Both Singapore and Malaysia are known to be quite different in terms of expenses, so how different are they in terms of budget, though? Well, it falls down into several factors, like the duration of the vacation. To simplify things, Malaysia and Singapore have cheaper flights. Malaysia has cheaper accommodation, and Singapore is quite expensive in terms of accommodation. You would find a far cry from 5,000 to 6,000 INR a night rate in Singapore. In Malaysia, it will end up being less expensive, like 2,000 to 3,000 dirham a night. The former Prime Minister of Malaysia, Najib Razak, has said, "In spite of the huge diversity in Malaysia in terms of religion, culture, race, ethnicity, and so forth, we've really gone very far in developing this country." What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed today's video and found it interesting, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be always updated with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in another video.